Okay, so Team Ramstein, German, basic German, lesson 6. Let's just get right to it. We are in the heart of the Christmas markets. I've been on TDY for like 3 weeks now straight, and so therefore out of the office. And this right here, my friends, is a fantabulous what do we call it? It's a grapefruit margarita in the spirit of the season. Just handmade it. It's quite good. My wife even says it's lovely. Windows open, so you might hear the Christmas markets that are right outside of the window. In American English, we are 5 floors up. In German vernacular, we are on the 3rd floor here in the Schillerplatz. And so between the C-17s, C-130s, C-5s, and all the KC varieties that fly over right directly overhead, and all of the events throughout the year. It is always festive, especially in the wintertime. It's lovely because I can actually close the windows and I don't have to worry about burning up. So our agenda today is we're going to do the culture corner, which is Ordnung muss sein. Then we'll go through foundational vocabulary. We're going to touch on it's all Greek to me. And of course, then family and friends as requested from the notes from class 5. So, Ordnung muss sein. So there must be order. There absolutely must be order. This is just Germany, right? You can almost always tell the Americans because they'll look both ways at a crossing signal, right? You know, and it'll be on red, but no cars are coming. And since jaywalking is not exactly enforced at all, they'll just walk, but you'll see all the Germans around the area kind of disapproving tisk tisk because they didn't move when die Licht war grün, when the light was green. So, you know, you can't walk when the Rotmann is da. So when the red man is up, we can't walk. They're just about law and order. They're not quite like the British when it comes to queuing. The British love to queue. Oh my God, do they love just forming lines. But Germans do form lines really well, and good luck. I mean, God help you if you get out of that sequence and try to cut in line. But it's all about law and order here. It's just all about law and order and about doing the right thing and waiting for what you're told to do and doing it. So I think that's quite fascinating. Ordnung muss sein. You will find that the longer you're in Germany and the more you live around the locals and the more you're away from base, you'll find yourself doing the same. I literally will stand there in the middle of the night trying to cross the street to go back to my flat when there's like zero traffic, but die Rotmann is da. And I'm not going to go because I've turned into a local. Anyway, so moving on, going back through our foundational vocabulary basics, the review here, right? Ich war. This is good. Das ist gut. I am. Ich bin. Sometimes I am with him. Manchmal bin ich bei ihm. Now with that bei ihm, that IHM, ihm, meaning him, think of that as him, right? You know, with the im, the m coming at the ending of him, and also with im. Him, her would be the, well, that would be the opposite, right? Diametric opposite, right? But that's ihr. So sometimes I am with her. Manchmal bin ich bei ihr. So think of ihr, her, right, with the R, and in with the M. It's just a mnemonic device that may or may not work for you. I hope it does because it works for me. Today is better than tomorrow. Heute ist besser als morgen. I like this is ich mag das. Do you like this? Mögen Sie das? Either way, in other words, 6 to one, half dozen to another, right? So oder so ist in Ordnung. Ordnung meaning order, right? So or so is an order, whichever one you want to go with. And this is much better. Das ist viel besser. So going into our foundational vocabulary basics in action, to be, the verb to be in German is zu sein. Zu sein. The, depending on the gender case, whether it be masculine, feminine, or neuter. I know it sounds like something awful that happens to dogs, but it's the is die, der, das. Same, the same, gleiche, or gleich and selber. So selber or gleich oder gleich. Between, zwischen. It's kind of got a bit of onomatopoeia to it, like it just means between, right? Zwischen. Now is jetzt. It is. It is. Es ist. Es ist. Later, später oder nach. If, then, dann. Wenn, dann. Tomorrow, morgen. Also, to, as well, auch. Auch. I know. It can be kind of gross, right? Like, auch. Just think of that 6-year-old that you know that likes to do that thing with their throat and spit at you, your cousin. It's awful, but that's how we say auch. So, let's go through our sentences. Between now and later, zwischen jetzt und später. Zwischen jetzt und später. That A with the umlauts, keep in mind, always is the short form of the vowel in English, E. Zwischen jetzt später. If it's later, then tomorrow is better. Wenn es später ist morgen besser. This is also very good. Das ist auch sehr gut. Das ist auch sehr gut. The same for me. And this really comes in handy in a restaurant. Let's just say that your partner, your friend, whomever you're dining with, has just ordered an Aperol Spritz, bitte, and everybody loves an Aperol Spritz. Then you can just say das Gleiche für mich. Das Gleiche für mich. Das Gleiche für mich. I was here with them. Ich war hier bei ihnen. Ihnen. So if you think, ihnen, right, that's them, right? Them versus ihm in ihr, which is him and her. Ihnen. Ich war hier bei ihnen. The same day, derselbe Tag. Derselbe Tag. So, German expressions, and this is kind of this funny thing, right? It's all Greek to me. I'm just calling it this week because, I don't know, I was bored. Das ist mir Wurst. Wurst. This is sausage to me. Yeah, that means it makes no sense. I don't care. No one wants to see their sausage made. No one wants to hear about it, right? You just want to taste that lovely Wurst, that lovely hot dog, but you don't want to watch it getting made because you know how it's made. And you don't want to know it so you can enjoy it while you're eating it. So, das ist mir Wurst. And you'll hear that, right? If they're bored with the conversation or they just don't want to know too much information, das ist mir Wurst. This is sausage to me. Nur Bahnhof verstehen. Nur Bahnhof verstehen. If you run into, Mr. and Mrs. Funny Pants, and you're trying to explain yourself in German, and they think they're going to be cute, and you're not really making yourself clear, right? Maybe it's an enunciation or a pronunciation problem. Perhaps it's just struggling for vocabulary. They might just be a smarty pants and say, nur Bahnhof verstehen, and all that is just a saying that means I only understand train station. So, no matter what you're saying, it doesn't matter, but it's an old expression. It comes from, all I understood what you said was train station, all right? When you hear someone go, na, they'll walk right up to you, na, that just means what's up. Na means what's up. Have no idea how or why. Have no idea of the epidemiology involved with this. The epidemiology, the viral spread. I have no idea what the etymology of that phrase is. I have a feeling it's got something to do with Franco-Swiss and French and some Pfälzer German, but not sure. And ich glaube, mein Schwein pfeift. Ich glaube, mein Schwein pfeift. That means I think my pig whistles. In other words, he thinks you're full of crap. So, I think my pig whistles. And you can say, das Wetter ist schön when it's cold and rainy. And they're going to go, ja, genau. Ich glaube, mein Schwein pfeift. So, yeah, that's fine. You can think the weather's beautiful, and I think my pig whistles. So, I don't know. Think of it in the English, when pigs fly. Okay, so going into family and friends. And I have some lovely pictures up here. I actually used the pictures of me and my family to describe these. But this is not my family. This is off of, the royalty-free site. But Mother and the baby. Die Mutter und das Baby. Die Mutter und das Baby. Der Vater und die Tochter. Tochter. The father and daughter. Der Bruder und die Schwester. The brother and the sister. Die Tante und der Onkel. And if you notice, die Tante is wearing a Burberry scarf, which I find to be just fabulous with that beige fall sweater. Nevertheless, der Onkel is kind of boringly dressed, right? He's got cool shades on or cool glasses, but nevertheless, die Tante und der Onkel is the aunt and the uncle. Die Nichte und der Neffe. Die Nichte und der Neffe. So, the niece and the nephew. Die Eltern und die Kinder. When you're looking at that word Eltern, think of elders, right? So the elders und die children, right? So die Eltern und die Kinder. Die Großeltern und die Enkelkinder. Die Großeltern und die Enkelkinder. And as you can see from the photograph, we're obviously talking about the grandparents and the grandchildren. Die Großmutter or die Oma und Enkelin. Enkelin. Die Großmutter means great mother, quite literally. Oma is just an old Yiddish disambiguation, meaning nanny kind of a thing, you know. I had an Oma. And an Enkelin, when you see that I-N appellative to the word Enkel, it just means granddaughter. Der Großvater or der Opa und der Enkel, right? So you'll notice that there's a bit of a patronymical shift here, right? Enkel is, you know, that's the grandson, unless you put an I-N at the end of it, and then it becomes a granddaughter. Mutti und Vati, that's what I call my parents. Mama and Papa. Would be the closest translation, though in American English, probably mommy and daddy. So here we look at a significant other versus having a platonic relationship. So mein Freund or meine Freundin, right? Mein Freund, male, meine Freundin, female. Ein Freund, right? So a friend versus my friend. So a friend, that's platonic, right? So ein Freund von mir, a friend of mine, is a platonic relationship. Eine Freundin von mir is a platonic relationship with a female. Magst du? Ich hoffe es. So here you have a couple, a lovely couple. Freund und Freundin. So it's boyfriend and girlfriend. Freund und Freundin. Die Cousine und der Cousin. So that's die Cousine, the female cousin, der Cousin, the male cousin, and together they make up the cousins, and we know that the definite article for all plural nouns is die. We've gone through that 100 times. So, die Cousins, and then die Cousine, and der Cousin. Die Schwiegermutter und der Schwiegervater. And this is your mother-in-law and your father-in-law. And here's a picture of me in 2004, getting ready to roll to Iraq for the first time. Look at how freshly pressed that uniform is. Clearly, look at that baby face. I came back looking like Clint Eastwood, but I left looking, I don't know, like a baby. Das ist meine Mutter. This is my mother. Ihr Name ist Hope. Hope. Or Hope. They don't really have a word. They don't have a Hope name in German. So, I mean, her name would literally be Hof. Hoffe. And that's just not going to work, right? So, but anyway, her name is Hope. And sie ist aus Heidelberg. Sie ist Deutsch. Und das ist meine Mutti. Und ihr Name ist Hope. Das sind meine Mutti und mein Vati, Hope und Tim. Das sind meine Mutti, meine feminine, und mein, male. Das ist meine Frau. Ihr Name ist Jerry, but not in Germany. She will be always. Sie ist immer Geri, Geri, because they don't have a soft she here. So it doesn't matter, right? You can say, das ist meine Frau. Ja, das ist meine Frau, Jerry. And they'll go, oh, hello, Geri. They just can't help themselves. Even my cousins who've known her for 30 years are just like, hello, Geri. So this is what it is. So, das ist meine Frau. This is my wife. Ihr Name ist, well, Geri. Der Ehemann und die Ehefrau, right? So they're getting married, right? Ehemann und Ehefrau, right? It's the husband and wife. Das ist Geris Ehemann. Als sie sich das erste Mal treffen. This is Jerry's fiance, and this is when she first met him. Just a couple of babies. Next week, nächste Woche, it's going to be up to class vote, and we have that documented, so you'll just have to find out in lesson 7. Coming right up.